Till date, we have over 2 million moms on board. But the real power is the speed at which we're growing, which is about 10,000 moms almost every day joining WOOP.
We do have with us today Rashi Mittal. She is a full funnel marketing specialist with over 15 years of experience in building and monetizing customer communities. WOOP has over 2 million moms onboarded who have performed over 4.5 million engagement and advocacy actions in over 8 countries worldwide. This in turn has helped them generate enough funds for over 500,000 school days, school lunches, and school books across South Asia region. What is funnel marketing?
Thanks, Anuj. Thank you for having me here today. What is funnel marketing? It's really funny because my team always jokes about how I convert everything in life into a funnel, right? But if you really think about it, funnel marketing is nothing but helping brands literally walk through the entire consumer funnel, right? So starting from getting them to be aware of the brand, then getting them to be interested, via engaging them, getting them to actively consider buying the brand. And then, of course, the last part of the funnel is where WOOP actually is really good because we actually invert the funnel, which is through advocacy, where we then identify the top advocates that in turn actually spread more awareness about the brands in a more credible manner as well.
Tell us more about WOOP. What does it stand for and how you are helping B2C companies or direct-to-consumer companies to grow?
WOOP stands for Women of Opinion. In a nutshell, we help brands engage with women, especially mothers. So we essentially help with the full funnel, right? So 5 things. 1 is leads, engagement, insights, actions, and then at the end of it, advocacy. Let me explain. So when it comes to leads, right? Leads is nothing but first-party data, which is then collected in a legally compliant manner. First-party data is a lot more important now than it has ever been before, simply because of the fact that Google has announced that it will be discontinuing with third-party cookies starting next year, right? So companies, big companies, everyone started to collect this first-party data, and we actually help them do it in a more cost-efficient manner at scale. The real power of WOOP is in how well we're profiling them and engaging them. Now, when it comes to profiling, right, we can tell brands so much about this woman, consumer of theirs, right? We can start with, what's the age of the child, what geography they're in, what are their interests, what are their health concerns, what are their skin concerns, do they have a pet or not, right? Do they have aging parents, right? What brands do they currently use, right? You name it. The second thing that we do is engagement. Now, we have a gamified platform, which makes learning about the brands a lot more fun, right? Whether it's watching a video, doing a quiz, spinning the wheel, right? The more they learn about the brand, they get points, and then they can redeem these points, right, for some goodies. So now once the consumer is better profiled and she's better engaged, she's far more likely to do actions for that brand, right? Now, actions could be download an app, it could be register on their website, say hi on their WhatsApp, follow them on Instagram, any action the brand wants, even purchase. After they've done the action, they actually advocate the brand, right? Now, advocacy could be through social media shares on their personal timelines, it could be through writing an honest review, it could be through genuinely referring friends to join the campaign, or it could be through creating really powerful content that the brand can then use. So essentially, WOOP helps brands with the full funnel.
So this is really about building trust over a period of time by engaging with them and also having a noble cause behind it. Rashi, so the WOOP it's been 4-year-old, right? Since the time you have conceptualized. And as a founder, as a woman leader, or as a startup, what challenges you have faced in the last 4 years?
As a woman leader, if I had to be completely honest, I think I've had an advantage. To be really honest, the urban privileged circle, right, that we live in, right, we have actually a lot, by we I mean women leaders today, have a lot more opportunities, right, than our male counterparts, whether it's articles that are being written in the media, whether it's forums like this one, right? Now don't get me wrong. I'm loving every bit of encouragement is always helpful, right? I'm loving the fact that we do have access to these forums and I'm happy to be here. Now, when I look at challenges as a startup, of course, galore challenges, right? From cracking that first client to figuring out how to get a foot in the door into the, a big company, to cash flow management, right? Probably the biggest challenge, hiring the right talent, right? Having rock bottom days, right? Feeling like, oh my God, am I even in the right, fit over here? Is the, feeling like your confidence is shaken up. So all of those challenges exist. But frankly, that's the same for women and for men.
You have good 70 plus customers and most of them are big conglomerates, right? So it is an achievement. Talking about the scale, you said WOOP itself has a community of about 2 million women across 8 countries, right? What is your vision to scale it up?
I think the heart of WOOP is the triple win model, right? The more that consumers engaged, the more funds that are generated, and the more we use these funds for social impact actions, like you said at the beginning of the call, school days, school lunches, school books across the Southeast Asia region. So while our vision for the company, right, like we have 2 million moms today and 70 plus clients, right, some of the big MNCs with us. So while our vision is to be the largest, most profiled, most engaged, right, base of women consumers, the actual vision is to try and multiply the social impact we have, from the 500,000 that we've created today, right, to at least 1 million by 2025. And that's the vision that we focus on.
It's really good that you're doing, it's an impact first, right, while you're engaging, and it's a win-win for all. Where do you see banks coming in the picture and helping you in this journey?
I think, firstly, what would really help the startup ecosystem is if banks had a cash flow based lending structure, right? That would really help short-term, working capital requirements, and at the same time, not have to take an equity risk on the startup. The second would be to actually even have, more alternatives or more options of what we could put down as collateral, right? In this technologically advanced world we live in, I'm sure there are more ways to find options, for that. And the third one would be to actually have some additional relief maybe towards companies and startups that are also giving back to society and also, helping the nation grow as a whole.
What would be your advice for startups if they have to engage with communities? What are the things that they should be looking at?
I think there are two big myths when it comes to community management, right? First is that community is the same thing as databases. It's not. What matters is how frequently and how meaningfully they're engaging with you, right? So I think the first is the understanding of what community really is, right? Now, what really drives that engagement is having a purpose, right? Everyone who's coming together in a community needs to be coming together for a certain purpose. They need to empathize with each other in some way. The second one would actually be the fact that people think that communities are built out of content. Content is important. Absolutely. I'm not saying that, right? But I think if someone was really looking for content, there are a zillion places they could go to. I don't think that content is the reason for people to come to a community. I think the key is friendships, right? Friendships is the reason why people actually come to a community more than just that content, and I think that's what we really focus on at WOOP as well. So we have a community called Mommyship, right? And Mommyship is nothing but a friendship that only another mom can provide.
What are the two things that you would want startups to take away if they have to scale their business from X to Y?
I think one of my biggest strengths is how comfortable I am with the vulnerabilities that I do have. I have a lot more respect for people that have failed, than people who've never failed at all, because I've definitely failed a lot. And I think that failure is the absolutely best teacher and the best stepping stone to success that there possibly could be. So I think the biggest takeaway that, I would share is not to be so afraid of failure, right? And actually enjoy it.
Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank you. Thank you so much.